Bend the knee! Vela Mogolas, everybody. This is Don Willie back again with another theory video. And this one is Quantum Stark, the once and future Bran. So, for this one, I am actually going to be talking about some other people's theories rather than mine own, because, I happen to think that they are very interesting. Now, as far as the origins for these particular theories, I do not exactly remember. I know that at least some of the information I first saw on Aurora's video a few months ago, and I will try to leave the link in the description if I can find that specific video. But for the rest, some of it may have come from Reddit or it may have come from other people's videos. I don't exactly remember, so I don't want people to say, that I'm purposely not giving people credit because I just happen to not remember the rest of them. All right, so, with the previous episode of Game of Thrones, Season 6, Episode 5, The Door, we basically got confirmation that Bran can travel through time, at least in a metaphysical sense, astral projection, not necessarily with him physically traveling through time. But because the Three-Eyed Raven said that Bran needed to become him, some people took that as that Bran was physically traveling through time and might have actually been the Three-Eyed Raven himself. Personally, I don't actually believe that one, but, hey, I see how people could possibly buy into that. So anyway, let's go into the once and future Bran theory. So pretty much what that states is that the different Brandon Starks that we have heard about throughout this entire series are all a manifestation of this Bran going through the different time periods and basically being like Scott Bakula in Quantum Leap as Samuel Beckett and, setting right the wrongs of the past and trying to build a better future and finding the next leap to be the leap home, etc., etc. And there is a little bit of possible credence for this. I mean, if you look at Bran the Builder specifically, he's said to have built a bunch of different structures in different parts of Westeros that probably could not have been built by one man at a singular period in time. I mean, he's credited with building Storm's End, he's credited with building the Wall, he's credited with building the base of the High Tower in Old Town, and he's also credited with building Winterfell. Now, the thing about it is, Winterfell, it's already stated that there have been modifications or add-ons to Winterfell, so I doubt that Bran the Builder could have created that. And plus, look, castles take between 10 and 30 years to build depending on how big they are. And then let's look at the Wall. The Wall is 700 feet high and like 1,000 miles long or some shit like that. I forget exactly how long it's supposed to be, but he supposedly oversaw the construction of that. Storm's End, another huge castle. Listen, forget about him building one castle. You're saying that he built these two very massive castles, and that's kind of crazy. But then also the base of the High Tower in Old Town. I mean, why just build the base of the High Tower and not just the entirety of the High Tower itself? I don't know. You got Brandon Stark, son of Bran the Builder, who might have actually designed the High Tower itself. You got Bran the Breaker, also known as the guy who defeated the Night's King. You got Bran Shipwright. He was the Brandon that got lost sailing the Sunset Sea. You got Bran the Burner, who burned the Northern Fleet. Brandon Ice Eyes, who defeated a bunch of slavers. You got Bran the Bad, who was a bad king, apparently. And Brandon 9 Stark, a king who stops Skagosi raids on the Bay of Seals. There's Brandon Stark, son of Bernard. Brandon Stark, son of Cregan Stark. There's Brandon the Daughterless, who was the one from the Legend of Bale the Bard. There's Brandon Stark, son of Willem. His mother died birthing him, so Old Nan came to Winterfell to be his wet nurse. You have Brandon, son of Artos Stark, who was actually a twin. And then you have Bran, who was this current Bran's uncle that he never got to meet. You have all these different instances of so many Starks being named Brandon. Now, here's the thing about it though, right? How in the world could he possibly jump into all of these different brands or be all of these different brands? Because, I mean, I get it. You know, look, they happen to have some kind of records, but he would have to know specifically, like, okay, this child that I'm warging into or skin changing into is going to be named Brandon. Like, again, I understand this is supposed to be kind of a closed loop, so everything that is happening already happened, so he would already know which ones are Brandon. I mean, it's kind of a crazy thing to think about on the one hand, because again, if he is all of these Brandons, how long is it going to be before he finds out that he is all of them? And then another thing to think about is, how powerful will he be? Does this mean that he will be all of them at the same time? Or will he be, you know, all of these different Brandons at a different time? You know, is it going to be kind of like the Quantum Leap thing, where he skin changes into one of his ancestors for a certain amount of time and then leaves? Is he that Brandon for the entirety of their life? This is just one of those things that is very hard to prove, and it is a little difficult to fathom. I mean, listen, I happen to do a lot of tinfoil theory, but I mean, like, I think there's only so far the tinfoil can actually stretch before it's reached this breaking point. So yeah, listen, you guys let me know what you think with regards to Bran. Do you think it is possible that he has been all of the famous Brandon Starks throughout the years, or has the tinfoil reached critical level and it's just something that people are throwing out there because, you know, it's just something to grasp at straws about? You guys let me know what you think in the comments, and if you have any thoughts about these particular theories, or you'd like to add on, or is there something that you want me to add on, let me know. And as always, rate, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends, come back for more. That's been my time, and this is Don Willie in the tree saying Vala Dohiris.